Now, 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 now!
Buy official Sonichu merchandise. Buy it. Now, 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 now.
Ugh. We made it a whole hour.
Yeah. Oh, without mentioning Christian?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
I'm proud of us.
Yeah,
Truly.
me too. One of these days, I'm hoping I can go through a single game and chat series with Freako where he doesn't bring up Chris Chan or Chris Hansen.
No, with Freaker, I think he secretes Chris Chan references at this point, so...
I mean, it's funny, but like, I especially, I think Freako's at his best when he's like doing like random improv. Dang,
yeah.
I'm going through this level a lot faster now. Damn.
Yeah, the gamepad's easier, right?
Oh no, I'm actually playing with the keyboard and mouse
shit.
again.
Dang.
Sorry,
Dang.
I'm used to a certain way. Don't judge me.
I'm not judging you. I'm just saying, like, most of the time when they build these, they build them optimized for gamepads, so... You're having trouble...
That's probably true, but I was having an easier time controlling the camera with the mouse, and it's just... I kind of like the smooth... being able to control the camera like this. Just the smoothness of it. And they look at me while they're making my Subway sandwich, and I'm like, don't judge me!
And then I ask for spinach, and they just destroy it with spinach. I'm like, I wanted two other things!
Apparently that's like one of the most viewed like Game Grumps animated.
I'm not surprised. It's a very relatable story.
I was thinking, what if I instead of doing like Game and Chat animated, I just upload like the funniest moments as like individual clips.
Oh yeah.
Rather than compilations, just individual clips. We could have like the Ballad of
Yeah, you need
Jin
shorts.
and like the Vor lore and like.
You need shorts. You need to do like...
I can't really do it. I can't really do it in the mobile. I can't stand vertical angle.
It doesn't
video.
matter what you can stand. It's what the algorithm wants.
Does it really?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, like,
no.
did you watch the Cynical Brit's video all about it?
The who?
The Cynical Brit did a video a while back about how, oh yeah, YouTube is just flat out giving free promotion to channels that are doing shorts.
That would explain a lot about very particular people
Yeah,
and the fact that they're uploading a lot of shorts.
I
lately.
am
like Jack's
so
Films. His
addicted.
like whole channel is like showered with shorts.
Yeah.
Lately.
That's why. It's because the algorithm like boosts those channels. It boosts them mostly to people who are watching shorts to watch more shorts. But the thing is, you know how YouTube and a lot of other social media sites prey on our insecurities?
Yep.
Well, in this case, they're insecure about TikTok, so we can prey on that.
Oh, okay. Alright. It's interesting that YouTube was just like, longer is better. If you're not making longer videos, we're not paying you. And then like TikTok came along and was like, hey, you like short videos?
Hey,
Well,
30-second videos.
We are...
And then
we're...
YouTube came out with
We
shorts,
exclusively do those.
and TikTok was like, fuck you, 10-minute videos. Your move.
Oh no. I really don't want TikTok to become the platform that allows 10-minute videos, because then it's like, you know, it defeats its uniqueness, you know?
You realize, of course, if you do shorts, you can also put those on TikTok, and that will, like, result in a huge funnel of traffic coming directly to the channel. Like, I love recording videos with you, man, but a fun game to me is a game you try to win, and I think we could be trying a bit harder.
Where is... Wait. This game or the game of life?
The YouTube game.
Oh, okay.
You know, like,
I was a little confused for a
we
second.
make a show, I'd like to sell some tickets.
Oh, yeah, I would too. It's just, it's really hard to... the algorithm does not treat, like, this oversaturated genre kindly when you're trying to break into it.
So we gotta take extra measures now. It's not 2010 anymore.
Alright, so shorts, you think? Instead of just, like, individual clips?
There's
as
a
normal
lot of
videos?
stuff we could be doing. I will discuss with you at a time we are not exposing our strategy to the entire audience. Hello
So,
there.
we're talking
Thank you
shop.
for joining us. Welcome to Game and Chat.
We're not revealing our secrets.
We have none to reveal. You've foiled us. We are just people on the internet who are still doing formats from the 2010s. Hello and welcome. Welcome to old memes and Zombercom.
I don't want to be, like, hypercritical, but, like, I feel like the first, like, the Angel Island level, the Angel Island zone was really nice, and then this is just, like, a bunch of polygonal hills.
Yeah, that's what it looks like to me. Like, it seems like the Angel Island zone was following, at least thematically, the structure and the pacing of the Sonic 3 level, but this is just kind of going, hey, do you remember those really shitty bits from Sonic Unleashed? Well, here you go.
Trying to find.
But like any level that jumps from, you can run and fly and fall into the water and stuff, and then puts you in a place where there's shitloads of pitfalls. That's a huge uptake. I mean, what were they expecting? And this is not supposed to be level 2 either. Where's Marble Garden and where's Hydro City?
Yeah. Hydrosity.
Metrosity. That's how I knew I was autistic. That's how I pronounced hydrosity when I was a child.
Where is... Are you saying that they're not the Chouse Emeralds?
No! For a while I read the... Yeah, because I read more than I spoke to humans. I actually, you know, there's a few things, I think, that make Sonic in particular very friendly to the neurodivergent.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot of autistic people are into Sonic and Thomas the Tank Engine.
Well, hey. Kids are into Thomas the Tank Engine, okay? Perfectly normal kids grow up watching Thomas the Tank Engine. Die-hard Sonic fans are of a, let's say, particular group. You know, the average percentage of people with neurodivergent expressions, it seems to go up when you're in the Sonic fandom, and I think I know why. A, big bright colors. B,
Yep.
huge face with an always obvious expression. There's no second guessing Sonic. It's built into his main characterization. He's just a plain-faced dude who goes around looking for adventure. That's it. It's very easy to understand. He goes fast, and he doesn't stick around to hear what anyone else has to say. And speaking as someone who's recently been, as an adult, diagnosed with ADHD, it constantly feels like the people around me will not go fast enough. So usually the thing I have to do is just go 5 times as fast and come back to them with the finished product to be like, see? Yes, this is what I was describing. And they go, whoa. And like, I literally verbally enunciated every aspect of this project and you didn't get it. And they're like, yeah, but now I can see it. And I go, what do you mean? You just put a mental picture together. It's very strange, but it makes it.
And it's like you're saying like 1 + 1 is 2, and the other from their brain.
No,
they think that
I've
you're
just
saying...
got 2 1s. I don't have 2.
Yeah.
No, you got 1 apple in one hand. Yeah. You got another apple in one hand. Yeah. You got 2 apples. No, I just have 1 apple each.
Oh, yeah. No, I was gonna say that the other person, like, looks at you like you told them to divide by 0 or something.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
And then, you know, what else? You got Tails, who's the little brother type. Like, there's a lot of very clear archetypes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and it's very entry-level stuff. And the thing is, as a neurodivergent person, my first port of call, the first way I really had of connecting with other humans, it wasn't by talking to them, because ew. It was through media. It was like, hey, did you check out that cartoon? I'm like, yeah, I checked out that cartoon. I remember this episode. Oh, that's a relatable experience. Cool, I have a relatable experience. I have something to talk to other than coming from a broken home and having a mental disorder.
Yeah.
Which is all I had to talk about before cartoons. Like, I hate talking about this because I don't hate talking about being neurodivergent. I love being neurodivergent. I'm actually really glad I'm not part of the normie typical culture because they all seem to have a lot.
Did you say normie typical?
Yeah.
Nice. I like that terminology.
I wasn't misspeaking. I meant what I said. And like they all seem to have trouble with empathy.
Yeah.
And I think that's I wanted to do this bit. I was doing this bit with Leon with like, you know how people approach and are very like how they handle you when they know you've got a disability. I want to do a whole bunch of that stuff for like the neurotypical.
Oh yeah, but for neurotypical people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like hello, my name is Doug and I get serotonin from inside my brain. Whoa! Slow down, Doug!
Whoa.
My favorite things are bread and holding hands.
Whoa.
I mean, admittedly, those things are pretty good, but there's more out there. Do you like butter on your bread? No, that's too much stimulation for me. Yeah, I
That's
don't.
great.
I don't like to toot my. I don't want it to sound like I'm saying I'm smarter because I'm not. I'm stupid.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely not. I get what you're saying. I feel like because you're you feel shit. You feel comfortable.
Thanks for
You feel
putting
comfortable.
it.
When it's just you and me talking, you feel comfortable just like letting loose with like all your theories about like how the world works and stuff like that. And then you stop for a second and go like, oh wait, a general audience is gonna hear this. Fuck. I need
gave
to
up on
remind
that
my.
dream a long time ago.
Hey, now wait a minute.
No, not
All
on, not on having an audience, but just on what typical people think. I don't care.
Oh, right. Yeah. I mean, we were talking about this the other night when I was like having one of my insecure moments.
Oh yeah.
That like giving a crap about like what bad faith actors or like like people that you're never gonna meet in your life, like strangers on the internet, right?
Yeah.
When like you see a bad negative comment and you're just like, oh, that makes me feel like a little bit miserable. Like, what the hell did I do to you? It's like, they're probably living a completely different life to you, like different lived experiences. Do you think it's neurotypical people or neurodiverse people who are normally more willing to like be rude on the internet?
Look, I feel like it's both. It's definitely both, but they both stem from the same hurt, and I believe that hurt, that pain, is a lack of connection to people, and a need to performatively be on the side of general consensus.
Ah, yeah.
And so, for instance, that whole thing that happened with Merryweather lately, did you hear anything about that?
No, I didn't. Tell me about that.
So Merryweather put out another meme comic, as he does, because he knows how to play the game.
The game. Yep.
The
internet game.
The promo put media on the internet. You have to make meme shit that's short form because no one's paying for long form stuff. Yeah. So he does, and he got a lot of quote retweets. Like, he'd been getting them for a long time, but it came to a head when someone posted a photo of someone who took a selfie with him at a show and said, "I should have beat your ass when we met."
Oh no!
And so he said, "From now on, I'm not
no,
comfortable
no.
taking selfies with anyone, and I'm going to completely rebrand my comic." Now he's doing his own comics, and frankly, I like the comics he likes to make better because they're more interesting. I don't mind the meme comics, but I understand what they're there for, and you can still read them on the Meme Girls Twitter. Check it out. Link in bio.
Oh shit! I was like wasting so much time on like a dead end. Someone needs to block out that area of the level because that like leads nowhere, and it tricks you into thinking that's progress.
Yeah.
Now, how do I beat this guy?
So like that whole thing, that was a dog pile, and it's usually teenagers. And that's not to be ageist, but it is often people who are having a hard time finding where they fit in, and a lot of that is a big problem for a lot of young people. There's also a lot of reasonable young people out there, and teenagers and kids who would not do or say those things, and a lot of people in their 60s. But as like a trend, those people typically are earlier on in their journey of figuring themselves out, and they're looking for validation by being part of a group. And one surefire way to appear, at least, to be in the majority, is to be very harsh and judgmental, or to point out an obvious flaw in something. And you can do that with no social repercussions on the internet. The only social repercussion is that maybe the person engages with you, and that actually makes you more visible. And it, like, there's this, I think there's this weird kind of, when someone has clout and you talk to them, it's seen like, there's a status contest in these people's heads where they're like, if I'm rude to this person who has a lot of status, that means that I'm high status too. And I don't care how much clout you have. I'm not fazed by you having success and everything. Yeah, but do you have any success of your own to back that up, or are you just jealous? Because I think a lot of it comes down to that. It comes down to, it should have been me. It should have been me in that position doing that thing. So that's my theory on it, and that's also why wringing your hands and being concerned with the opinions of people like that is a losing game. Because they were always going to find something. Someone was always going to be like, "Oh, your line art is off here," or, you've got you're showing an extra chin there, or, "Oh no, the passage of time has happened to you."
I have this like interesting like a weird philosophy that keeps me going, which is something along the lines of, even if everything that person says is true,
Yeah.
I'm not going to do anything about it by just dwelling on it and feeling bad about it.
No, like if
Like even if
go on.
yeah. Well, even if hypothetically, because I don't believe that, like, you know, when I get a negative comment and it says, like, oh, you know, you're pathetic, how dare you, like, you waste your time on this kind of thing, like, aren't you, like, almost 30 kind of thing?
What a crime.
I'm just thinking, like, even if that, like, everything they say is true, like, keeping up a chipper attitude and, like, pressing on regardless is, like, way better than, like, crying about it, you know what I mean?
You don't win anything by like losing sleep over the thoughts of these people or the statements of these people. There's no there's no resolution to that coming, and it's a hard thing to learn, to categorize it and just push it away, because it speaks to the heart of every human being, that you want people to like you, and you want people to, you know, show you favor, and you want to put out work that people enjoy, and you also ideally, you want to hear from people who enjoy your work, but would like to see it move in this direction, or they think it could be improved by doing this. I love that. That's fantastic and constructive, and that's everything I want. It helps me get stronger. I've actually had more friction with people because they would not give me feedback in an honest way. Like they would say nothing and then just move on, or they would say, "I think it's great that you did a drawing." And I'd be like...
sounds so, like, infantilizing.
It is!
When it's said like that, yeah.
And that's why, even though there are people who are in my communities who are, you know, perhaps not very advanced in their art journey, or not very, or not maybe... I don't want to, like, guess about people's mental capacity from across a keyboard, but, you know, sometimes you do get the sense that people, you know, they have a different lifestyle, or maybe they are disabled, or... You know, they have little telltale signs like, oh, I wasn't aware of this social grace, or I didn't understand that I shouldn't put my address on the internet, that kind of thing. But even so, if they ask me for critique, I will give critique. I will say, here's what you're nailing, here's what needs work, here's how to work on it, off you go. And the only time I will, like, really start to crack the whip is if I tell them what I think that they need to do to improve. They come back to me for a follow-up, and I say, did you do the things I suggested that you do? And they go, well, no. And I go,
no.
Well, if you're not gonna, like, do this... If you want to improve, and you won't take my advice, why are you coming to me for feedback? Because I just gave you feedback, you didn't take it.
Yeah.
We're wasting each other's time here. There's nothing to be gained if I have a thing that you could use to improve, and you want my take on it, and I give you my take, and you don't do anything with it. I'm not a measuring stick for your audience expectation. Show that picture to an audience to get that. I'm gonna, like, workshop it with you. That's my mental state. That's the value I can share with you. Whew. Yeah, but that does happen sometimes. But all you can do is realize that those people are in pain. And you don't have to forgive them, you don't have to listen to them, but you do have to understand that it's just it's just the noise between things of value. It's the static of social media just buzzing. I try to reframe it in a few different ways. Sometimes I will be like, okay, just on the post.
Yeah. Just okay.
Okay.
Just a very neutral non-response.
Yeah, and I think that's actually something that's gotten me into trouble with people, because...
Oh, really?
Like, that's an attitude that comes from interpersonal stuff as well. And I always approach... Because I'm a giant man, right?
Yeah.
You can vouch for this. I am not small.
Boy, yeah.
I am...
You use your height, what's the word I'm looking for? For good, not for evil.
Yeah, and there are some people who... For them, spotting me and seeing my height is enough to throw their ego into, like, a dark place.
Really?
Yeah.
They
look at me, and this happened with a gorilla at the zoo, actually. He took one look at me and started
What?
smoking. Yeah, I intimidated a gorilla at the zoo.
Wait, how do you know that that's what they were
Because they
thinking?
were playing, and we walked on, and my friend swore to me up and down. He was staring me down. I stared him back. He wandered off, grabbed a leaf off of another gorilla who was just chomping down on it, whacked him in the head, and then got into his tire swing and sat there chewing and looking really upset.
Oh no, it's okay, Gorilla Man. It's fine.
No, it's not. I am bigger. I win.
I win.
The attitude I try to take is that we're not in competition with each other. I'm not in competition with you. You are not in competition with me. We are both in competition to try to improve ourselves. We're on the up track.
Imagine if you were like browsing social media one day and you were looking at your Twitter feed and you found that Gorilla Man had started a Twitter account and his art was way better than yours.
Shit. You
and
know
had
what?
way more followers.
I'm impressed. That gorilla like fought back against a whole bunch of shit. Like what a glow up story. If he can take his insecurity of me, if he can take that ego trap and turn it into something beautiful, then I'm all for it.
It's like Anchorman. It's like, I'm not even mad. I'm
impressed. Yeah, you learned how to use a pencil. But like, gorilla dick's still only 2 inches though, so good luck with that. Anyway. So for a lot of people, just seeing me is kind of intimidating. But my attitude is always, let's develop up. Let's spot each other, you know? Let's not get caught up in that trap of like going around saying, oh, who's the best? Who cares? We can both be better, but some people are so fixated on that, like, finding where they belong within the group, that tribalism, that they will try to be in competition with me, and I just find ways to not. I'll go like, okay. Like, I'll state an opinion, and they'll state on top of that opinion, and they'll say, well, I think the opposite, actually, and I'll go, okay.
Yeah,
And I'll let it hang, and after a little bit, they kind of feel stupid because they realize I just argued back emotionally with no consideration for what my actual point was, and now it's just out there, and that's generated tension with people because I don't consider myself in competition with anyone. They don't take that as a mutual let's get along thing. They take that as it's not a competition because I've already won kind of attitude. That's the frame I have to deal with as someone who's large and visible. And to be fair, sometimes when people are threatening with violence, that is the way I can shut them down. I can say, look, this isn't a competition, but if you want to make it one, I will win swiftly.
Nice.
You know, not that I'm in a whole lot of fights these days. That's a long ways in the past now.
That's like ages ago, ancient history.
Yeah. Well, you know, few years down the line. I do miss martial arts a little bit, but I'm really happy to be working on what I'm working on at the moment.
You know what I miss?
What do you miss?
And I know this is like a massive tangent, but I miss the School Musical. Like there's like a part of my gut that makes me like think like
being in the School
Wouldn't
Musical?
it be great if I just like a school play and stuff?
Ah, yeah. Well, dude,
like,
you're an adult. You could just go join a theater company.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Is just like, what if I, joined a local theater? just went and did it.
Yeah,
like,
you'd have to
wouldn't that just be
audition.
so
But, like,
spontaneous.
you know how long I've been
quirky?
wanting to try and get back into acting lessons?
Apparently, what's the name of that place? Dracula's is reopening or something?
I believe they're reopening, but not as a full venue. It is as an event that is hosted at Crown. So it's not a bespoke theater anymore. And like toward the end, like dinner theater and theater are very different animals.
Yeah.
Like dinner theater is let's serve like you are literally hawking merchandise to them while they sit down, and also like serving them dinner. A lot of it's in crowd work, like interacting with the crowd. And the one of the things about it is that like you don't have to go through the arc of a character. You basically just put on a sing-song show. It's got more in common with a musical concert than it does with a theater.
A rock opera.
Yeah, but if you do, if you go and you play like a character in Uncle Vanya by Anton Chekhov, you're gonna learn some shit. You are going to have to trust the performers around you, and you are going to have to empty out the person that you are to make room for the character. And that's theater. That's what it means to be a character. I've got this whole thing in my head. I want to do like a course on how acting can help you, the visual artist.
Yeah, yeah. Acting helps with like so many things.
does.
Like it helps with confidence. It helps with like understanding, like being able to draw biology.
Yeah.
Just man,
Because
so much.
at the end of the day, every like doing theater actually and acting is a great way to learn the absolute bare bones minimum requirement for a good story. Because you can create a really engaging experience with just two people on stage and they talk, but what they talk about and what they're going through and where they are versus where they end up, those are all the fundamental pieces that you need to show a narrative arc. And if you don't have that, Hollywood, it's not a script, it's just a bunch of stuff that happens.
That's the thing that I picked up on when I was younger and I was like watching musicals like as a school excursion or whatever, is like when you're like watching a movie, those are like the best takes and they're like edited and sometimes maybe with some like ADR, like after dubbing or whatever. But like when you're watching like a theater performance, that's all live. Like that's something they had to train to do perfectly every single time.
Well, I wouldn't even say perfectly because in music, like you train up, you start off slow and you play the piano piece like a little bit at a time till you get it perfect, and then you do it again faster until you can play it at speed and you can do a good performance. That's performed by rote. As an actor, you don't just have to know your lines, but you also have to put yourself emotionally in the same place at the start of each performance and then get catharsis by the end authentically. And I don't mean being a fucking method acting arsehole like Jared Leto. I mean actually acting instead of having to do that shit, because that's what people do to avoid having to do acting.
There was a I forgot who it was, but there was this famous actor who said like, "Oh, method acting is bullshit" or something like that.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's stuff you can do to help your frame, for sure. But these people who put their co-stars in danger and cause trouble and like cost the production millions of dollars in like poor PR and stuff like that. They're just being assholes. That it's a publicity stunt, and it's something that Hollywood would not put up with except from white men.
Yeah.
Like, take a note every time you see someone who's in the paper for doing method acting. Is it ever someone who is not, like, at least resembles a white man? Like, can you think about if, like, Margot Robbie, you know, Harley Quinn, was sending used condoms to her castmates? Do you think she'd get away with it the way that Jared did?
Probably not, no.
And that's not to, like, compare her to Jared Leto, because no one deserves that. Applause. Get him. Get him. How does Shadow handle compared to Sonic? Hello?
Oh yeah, sorry, I was focusing on. Like,
you
boss.
do it.
And also like I was also like focusing on how to word what I wanted to say, because like, you know, once you get into like you know, terminology like cis white male and like you know, racism, you got to really be careful on how you word things, because the internet is trained to like hate you, to throw backlash in your face if you say any of their trigger words.
Okay.
Like if you say problematic, everyone loses their shit.
If you are on the political right and you don't believe that racism is worth discussing, I want to trigger you. I'm happy about that. That's an investment I'm willing to make, and I might not speak for Mitch. I don't know if I speak for Mitch, but I am very happy to not have you involved with any of my things. Take your money, take your view, go home.
I would like to think that I feel the same way. It's
Excellent.
just, I also want to make sure that I'm phrasing things in a way that doesn't upset people who I don't want to upset.
As neurodivergent people, we often choose words before we fully finish crafting the meaning behind those words.
There has been a few times on Game & Chat, no less, or when we were live streaming, where I've said something first before thinking, or I laughed at something that wasn't a joke, and you looked at me and went like, "That's not funny," or like that's kind of racist.
Oh no!
Of you,
Did you
Mitch.
say
And
the
like,
gamer word?
Oh shit! No, I've never said the gamer word. In fact, I don't even think that's part of my
I
vocabulary.
think I've said it a few times.
Oh, you... I think you've said it, like, while we were streaming once.
Well, like, the thing is, like, I don't want it in my vocabulary. I don't need that word.
No.
That word's not for me. I don't want any connection to that word. I have enough connections as a descendant of white colonizers to systemic racism already. I don't need more.
Oh, gosh.
But, like, when you see something on the internet and you're talking to your black friend and they're like, I don't want to say it, and they just fucking say it, dude.
I was like talking to someone like a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know how, but like the conversation on like change the date came up, you know, May 8th, Australia Day,
mate,
and like I was made, yeah, so but like I was like explaining like, oh, you know, Aboriginal people don't like Australia Day for very obvious reasons, and they pulled out the card of like, oh, why, we didn't do anything, like no one alive today did anything, and it's like we still have, like, systems in place that were created by, you know... Like, the effects are still felt today.
Oh,
it doesn't really matter if you individually...
We didn't do anything? Didn't
exactly. we? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think they were phrasing it like, I as an individual didn't do anything.
No one's saying that you did.
So, like, why do I have to apologize? But it's like...
Okay, so do the Stolen Generation not deserve an apology and reparations made in that case? Because
exactly.
they are now just integrated into those families. That's
exactly.
There's kind of a strange thing I've noticed in the differences between racial conversations in America versus Australia. And if you're American and you're interested in how that works here, I can't say that there's not racism. There is absolutely racism here. But it goes in a different way. Like, Australians are more likely to be intimidated by the prospect of Asians outcompeting them than they are afraid of black people, because the classism is reversed here. We're anti-classist. The English people who are from higher ups, we don't trust them to begin with. That's why we have such a jocular and, like, joking and relaxed kind of, well, we did. We had a relaxed kind of culture. One thing I've noticed is that if you are descended from Indigenous Australians or Torres Strait Islanders, you are considered part of that. You are black. Like, maybe you don't present very well, but because of the nature of the tragic events that happen, I can't believe I'm describing this while I watch Shadow the fucking Hedgehog on screen. This is so wild.
This is weird.
Yeah, like, you got me when my meds have worn off. Just FYI, if I'm spouting shit out of my ass and mouthing off about stuff I got no business mouthing off, I'm sorry. I'm off my meds and it's nearly 1 a.m.
That's okay.
But yeah, the nuance appears to be, if you are black in Australia, you are usually considered black. You are, you know, given the reparations or the option to say that you are descended from that group, and you are, I think even in society, like, I can't speak for any indigenous groups of people, but a lot of the cultural divide just seems to be on whether or not you identify. But in America, there's degrees of blackness. There's if you are not, like, if you are still very black presenting, but you are a lighter shade of black, you are considered, I struggle to use the term lesser, because that's not a good word to use in this instance. I feel that would be insensitive. And I should maintain this is not my opinion. This is an observation I've made in my attempt to educate myself about racism locally and abroad, because it behooves me to be aware of what is going on on the planet. It appears as though there's, like, a system through which even black communities will judge people by how white you might appear to be. And that's something that's, you know, pretty foreign to a lot of us here in Australia, who have, as mentioned, the system where if you are of that descendant, you are of that descent. You can now have access to these things, and you're considered to, like, our government owes you a fucking apology, frankly. Yeah, it was just very bizarre to me, because there was a controversy at a convention, like a Black Nerd convention, which by the
Yeah.
way sounds cool because all of my black nerd friends are so cool. Like
Yeah.
meeting like black nerds who are super into anime has been one of my favorite things because they
Oh yeah, there are a lot of black people that are like super into anime.
hell yeah.
I love this like one TikTok sound that's like Hinata isn't black. Hinata isn't black.
She gonna
She's
black
gonna be black today.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
There have even
Because like
been
yeah.
whenever I see a person of color like you get Asian people and white people interchangeably cosplaying characters in anime convention. That's not really new to anyone, but you sometimes get the black people and sometimes they're very, very black presenting, like very dark skin. And I feel like they often feel left out. So I make sure to ask politely, may I please have a photo with you? And they light up, dude.
Oh.
I could, like, you can see that they have been feeling unseen and or scared about expressing themselves that way. And I just want to make sure that I can do what I can to make the anime community a more welcoming place to all of the fans. Because I feel like those things can unite us. Like, that doesn't mean that you have... that, black and white experiences don't create your frame. They absolutely do. But those are things that we can, like, talk about and agree on and, like, just interact as fans first and people first.
Yeah.
I hope I worded that correctly.
Yeah. I think you did.
The white guy's gonna talk about race.
We should start a podcast.
Yeah, oh my god, Shadow the Hedgehog. Let's give him a gun and a fancy car.
Oh, wow.
Good one, Sega. It's,